A powerful Zen lesson everyone needs to hear. Every morning began the same way. Before the sun had fully risen, a young traveler was already planning the next achievement. There was always another goal to reach, another person to impress, another mountain to climb. Yet no matter how much was accomplished, peace never stayed for long. Every victory was followed by a new worry, every success by another fear of losing it. One evening, after another exhausting day, the traveler overheard an old merchant speaking about a Zen master who lived high in the mountains. "They say he possesses the secret to lasting peace," the merchant whispered. The next morning, the traveler set off. After several days of climbing steep mountain paths and crossing quiet forests, a small wooden temple appeared through the morning mist. Outside, an elderly Zen master was carefully sweeping fallen leaves. The traveler bowed deeply. "Master," the traveler said, "I have worked harder than anyone I know. I've chased success, respect, and happiness, yet my heart is never still. Please teach me the secret to peace." The old master smiled but said nothing. Instead, he handed the traveler a wooden bucket and pointed toward a nearby stream. "Fill this bucket with water." Confused by the simplicity of the task, the traveler hurried to the stream, filled the bucket, and returned. The master looked inside. The water was muddy. Without saying a word, he poured it onto the ground. Again. Slightly annoyed, the traveler returned to the stream, this time moving even faster. The water splashed against the sides of the bucket, stirring mud from the bottom once more. Again, the master emptied it. Again. This continued for hours. Frustration grew with every trip. Finally, unable to hide the anger any longer, the traveler cried, "This is pointless. Every time I fill it, the water becomes cloudy. Why do you keep making me repeat the same useless task?" For the first time, the master spoke. "Did I tell you to make the water clear?" The traveler paused. "No." "Then why did you keep disturbing it?" The traveler stood silently. The master walked to the edge of the stream and pointed toward a quiet pool where the water rested undisturbed. The mud had settled naturally to the bottom, leaving the surface crystal clear. "You see," the master said softly, "water becomes clear not because it struggles, but because it learns to be still." The traveler stared at the peaceful reflection on the water's surface. The master continued, "Your mind is no different. Every worry, every fear, every endless chase stirs the mud inside you. The harder you fight your thoughts, the cloudier your life becomes." The mountain breeze carried the sound of rustling bamboo. "For years," the master said, "you believed peace was something to achieve. But peace is not a reward waiting at the finish line. It is what remains when you stop running." The traveler slowly sat beside the stream. For the first time in many years, there was no need to prove anything, no race to win, no future to control. Only the sound of flowing water, only the gentle wind, only this moment. As the sun began to set behind the mountains, something remarkable happened. Nothing changed around the traveler. The mountains were the same, the stream was the same, the world was the same. Only the mind had become quiet. The traveler finally understood that the greatest prison had never been the world outside, but the constant need to chase what was already within. From that day forward, whenever life became overwhelming, the traveler remembered the stream. Instead of forcing answers, there was patience. Instead of resisting every challenge, there was acceptance. Instead of endlessly searching for peace, there was simply being present, and little by little, life became lighter. The Zen lesson: just as muddy water becomes clear when left undisturbed, the mind finds wisdom when it learns to be still. You do not need to chase peace, you only need to stop chasing everything else. Sometimes the most powerful lesson you'll ever hear is also the simplest: be still and let life settle.